Today's topic, we're going to hop into Chronically Single, and Brett Cooper, who used to be a Disney star or a Nickelodeon star. She used to be a childhood star, and she has her own YouTube channel called The Comment Section, and we're just going to talk about, or listen to what she's going to say about the Chronically Single, because she gives a very good description of it, and I'm going to play it right now.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. Now, we talk a lot about how some of Gen Z is just not prioritizing dating anymore. They're not having luck in the dating scene. Obviously, it's a hellscape. That's the thing that I say basically once a week. And how, due to its difficulty, many are just opting out altogether. However, that is not the case for everyone. We see that a lot on social media, but there are still people hanging on, trying to meet their forever person. On the other end of this dating spectrum, there is a group of 20-somethings who yearn for a partner. Yet year after year, they come up empty-handed and they are still single. And they have now labeled themselves the chronically single friend. So today, we're going to dive into this condition that they're saying that they have and see what they've been dealing with in this dating landscape, and more importantly, figure out if there is a remedy to their literal decades-long ailment. Before we dive in, though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel.
And also, before we dive into that, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to this channel and whatnot. And please continue to follow on Instagram and TikTok at Zakka Nerdy Dating, and you can find more clips from the show there. But that's what Brett sums it up as. She sums it up as people who consider themselves a condition of being single. And I am actually going to go pull up a few of those people that she ended up bringing up in her video, because some of these people said they also chronically single, which to me, I'm like, okay, being single is not a disease. So what are your thoughts on that before we get into some of the videos from TikTok here?
Well, you gotta determine what is chronically single. Like, what is the time frame of how long you have to be single for to be chronically single? You could be chronically in a relationship, out of relationship, in a relationship, out of relationship, and then you're always single. Or is it just a length of time of, oh, I haven't been on a date or had any kind of relations in 5 years or 6 years or a year? You know, what is the length and time frame of being chronically single? Usually when it comes to, you know, chronically, you think of something that is obsessive, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so some people, they go from date to date, or they have a certain length of just pause time where they don't think it's chronically single. They're just kind of in their own little world doing what they want to do and, you know, all that jazz. And then there's people that see it as, oh, I haven't been in date in 3 months, so I'm chronically single.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, we're about to find out here. So this one right here is from Taylor Vance. She is like the first person who brings up the chronically single, like, person. And she says, 5 things I'm tired of hearing as a chronically single 25-year-old. So let's see what she has to say.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
That if I hear one more time, I'm gonna lose my mind. Starting off strong. It'll happen when you least expect it. Will it? Will it? Quite some time, actually, I have not expected it, and it still hasn't happened. Along those same lines, stop looking, and that's when you'll find it. Okay, I haven't been looking. And it's the not looking, I fear, that resulted in years of absolutely no contact with a man. This one, you're so lucky, or I wish that I had never dated so-and-so or never been in this relationship. I get where you're coming from, but there's that line in the Lumineers song that's like, it's better to feel pain than nothing at all. The opposite of love is indifference. Ow. Ow. You're right. It is. The opposite of love is indifference. Okay, and then don't rush it. Don't settle. Great. Yeah, I'm not. Clearly, I'm not. At some point, I realize 25 is still young, but at some point, I am going to be like, kind of got to start rushing things. I do have a biological clock. I would like kids someday. So that's not helping. I'm not settling. I'm not rushing. Obviously. And then the last thing is trying to set me up with any and everyone, you know, that is a single eligible bachelor. I get that you're trying to help, but then it makes me feel bad when I'm like, no, I'm not interested, but I'm not interested. If you relate to any of these, I'm sorry. Hi, I'm 25. I have been single for my entire life.
So she's 25 years old,
Yeah.
which, one, let's talk about that. You're not even, you just hit a quarter of a century years old. Think about that. A quarter of a century years old. Technically, you really only been an adult for about, what, 7 years?
Somewhere around there.
18, 17, like...
Yeah, depending on how long she's been living at home or went to college or whatever.
True. Yeah, you went to college. You're pretty much extending the real world experience a lot longer. But yeah, a lot of people meet their significant other in college, which that's one of the best places to meet your significant other because you have the same life experiences. Yeah. And then after you get done with college, you guys face the real world together. But she's only a quarter of a century years old. I keep saying a quarter of a century versus 25 because how much longer does that sound? A quarter of a century. We're living until like mostly 90s and 80s. And you know, some people up there living to 100 years old. She's all right. Now I get the biological clock thing where people tell you like, hey, you know, don't rush it. And she's like, don't rush. I'm not rushing it, but I do have a biological clock. And I remember studies. I think it's like late 30s is where late 30s, early 40s.
It's after 35 is when there's high risk pregnancy.
Yeah, okay, yep. So I understand that. So what, she got about 8 years with that? Because I don't want to put her directly at 35, but she's 25. So
yeah,
but
somewhere around there.
A lot can happen with those 8 years when she can meet somebody. So I get that she's tired of hearing these things, but my thing, are you complaining about it, and that's why people are telling these things to you, or if you're just existing, nobody ever asks. I guess some people your parents might ask, or grandma or aunties, or uncle might ask, like, where's your significant other? How can you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? That happens. Thanksgiving, holidays, stuff like that will happen. But are you just walking by, living your life, and then your friends like, where's your partner at? Like, I don't think your friends are doing that to you unless you bring it up a lot.
I want to say she's like being super negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she has like a negative mindset to the things that people are telling her. And I understand 100% where somebody tries to explain their experiences with you on a certain subject, and obviously your experience is not the same as their experiences. But I mean, if you keep going into, you know, these conversations with a negative attitude, you're going to get negative results. You know what I mean? So I understand where, I'm tired of hearing this, I'm tired of hearing that. But it's like, where's your mindset on all of this stuff? You know, that's my main thing is like, if you have a positive mindset, it pulls you into positive things.
Right.
You know what I mean? With the negative mindset of, I'm tired of hearing this, I'm tired of hearing this. It's like, that's what's going to keep compelling you to that negative stuff. You know what I mean?
Here's another one. Top 5 most annoying things I get told as a chronically single 28-year-old. So these people are also posting their, and you can go to the comment section of their video. This is from Noah_Palato 5. He talks about it, and people in the comments are like, I relate to this, I understand, I'm the same way, I'm getting tired of told this and this. Well, here's a guy's perspective as a 28-year-old chronically single man.
I'm gonna give you my top 5 most annoying things that I get told as a chronically single 28-year-old. I saw a woman do it as a chronically single 25-year-old, and I feel like I had to do mine. My first one is, well, you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. I do love myself. I've loved myself for 28 years. What I don't love is you for continuing to tell me that all the time. My second one is, well, you just gotta put yourself out there. What do you think I've been doing? Why do you think I go out all the time? I don't even want to go out anymore. I hate going out. But how else am I supposed to meet people? I'm on every single dating app. I've posted 2,500 videos on TikTok saying I'm single. I'm out there. I have been putting myself out there. My next one
let's stop on that one real quick.
Yeah, that's real. Oh man.
And his third one is actually what I just talked to about the other girl, about her being 25. Like, you are young. But before we hop into his example of what you mean by young, but let's talk about that. You putting yourself out there, going out. Where are you going? Are you going to bars all the time? Because going to bars is not where you're going to meet. You can, like I say, it's not possible, but the most likely your significant other, your life partner, I'm assuming by you being chronically single for 28 years of your life, 28 years of your life there, by you being chronically single, I'm going to assume that you're not just trying to date anybody. You are legit being like, hey, I want to find a partner who checks off X amount of boxes, who hit my goals or values, whatever the case would be. Hopefully your values and goals and boxes are not super like, she has to be, 5'5", and she has to be a slim figure. She has to be a stay-at-home mom who doesn't do anything. Like, hope you don't have those kind of criteria. And for ladies, hope you're not trying to find a guy who's like, he has to be 6'5", make it over 100,000 annually for the next, last 7 years, and he has to be in a nice car. And I was like, I hope you don't have the most materialistic things. Not sure I can say that. The materialistic thing that doesn't matter to whether or not a partner is not a successful partner, but a good partner. Those things don't matter. Anybody can have a nice car and have a high salary and be a certain body type or weight, but that doesn't make somebody a good partner. But back to his thing about him going out all the time, and again, the dating apps. The dating apps is a tool, and being on TikTok telling everybody you're single. Okay, you can do that, but you gotta think about location, where you're at. If somebody you telling everybody on TikTok you're single, doesn't mean people are just gonna reach out.
Yeah, he has a lot of unrealistic expectations. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Where you imagine, oh, I'm going out, I'm doing all these different things. Why am I not, getting a partner? It's like, that's not exactly how you get a partner. To believe it or not, for men, we have to have some sort of game to attract a partner.
I hear you saying.
I can understand where the woman, or obviously she doesn't want to approach every other man, whatever, or maybe she has a bunch of men approaching her, and she's more or less trying to pick through, shift through the debris.
Yeah.
But for men, women put themselves in a position to be approachable. Men have to do the approaching.
Yes.
So that's just, I don't want to say it's a fact, but it's
how we was raised. It's the guy.
It's in our nature. It's in our nature. So we can't be, putting ourselves in a position to be approached by females when that's just not going to happen.
Right.
You can go to all the clubs and the bars and all the other things, and then it's true that on dating apps, women will approach you on dating apps, but even then, you have to have some sort of game or whatever.
I was like game plan, because game. I know you used to mean like game. You mean like not swagger, but you gotta be able to talk to her, flirt with her, invite her.
There's so many things that you have to check off before she is interested in you.
Yes,
or she's turned. I should say she's turned off from you,
which is easier to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like on the dating apps, for example, are you trying to get these girls out on dates? Are you after 2 days of talking? Are you like, hey, you want to go get? I know some people hate this, and people want eviscerate me in the comment section. There's a certain subset out there like coffee date, which is actually a really good first date because you're getting to see how this person connect with you in person. You don't need to spend the whole day with them, and also you're not about to spend an X amount of dollars trying to impress this person on the first date when you don't even know if they're worth being spent money on. So a coffee date is a good first date to just figure out if y'all even have a good connection. But even not coffee, maybe you can go to a place where you can do interactive bars, like a arcade or mini golf, something like that, where you can do a date where you're not just sitting there in front of each other talking. Coffee dates is quick, easy. All right, maybe I might want to spend more time with them, maybe not. But are you even trying to invite these people out on dates, or are you just simply matching? Oh, she ain't talked to me, or I said hello. Speaking of game, game is just I know where you're coming from. It's just an old school term.
Yeah,
we gotta get away from that mindset. But speaking of the game, are you messaging these girls on dating apps about hello, hey, beautiful, hey? That's not gonna do anything. Are you referring to their profile? Are you talking to them about certain stuff? Because 28 years old, heck, if I didn't know what to say to a girl, I would sometimes send a hello, hi, smile emoji, and it's no response, crickets, because you're not having your approach was wrong.
They don't like the one word sentences, but at the same time they don't like novels and paragraphs and shit. You gotta have
yes, they're gonna spark the conversation, but even in person, you see somebody, are you making eye contact with them? Are you waving at them? Or are you just looking at them like that girl's hot over there, but I don't want to approach her? If she looked at you and you looked at her and then you looked away and then y'all look back at each other, y'all making eye contact again 3 times, get over there and say something. Don't sit there and she probably has a boyfriend. I'm psych myself out. So that's where I'm like, yo, you have to you gotta make the approach. You just can't sit there and be like, I go out to bars, but are you trying to talk to women also, or I don't know what your type is, what you're into, but are you trying to talk to people? And on top of that, to add to that, are you when it comes to like the bar setting, are you going to places that you want to meet a partner? Maybe it's not the bars. Maybe you might like fishing. Like I think he has a fishing shirt on. So at the fishing store, like Bass Pro Shop, walking up to Bass Pro Shop, do you see a person you're like, oh, I think she's attractive?
They
Go
both
talk to
reach
her.
for the same pole.
Yeah. Yes. Like that's a good meet cute. That's a good meet cute. But yeah, that's a good place to meet somebody. All right, let's see what his third thing is. You're still so young, which is not wrong.
Young. I'm 28 years old. I have gray hairs. I want to be able to play with my kids before they have to put me in a retirement home. I am not young. Time is ticking. My next one is, you need to embrace it and just enjoy your time being single.
Yes, you are young. Man,
Yeah.
Why was the person trying? Well, I'm bald. I went bald by 28. I actually started. Like, I started noticing my hair was receding at like 21. I was like, well, this is the game over for me. Thanks, genetics. But then I embraced my Michael Jordan look. So I was like, you know what? Michael Jordan was bald. He was balling out. I'm gonna embrace my Jordan look. Anyway, you ever want to see what old is? Go to a gym. Just go sit in a gym and watch people in their 50s and 60s doing amazing workouts, doing things where you're like, yeah, no, 60's not old. They're still getting around like it's nobody's business. Plus,
do we want to talk about Al Pacino and Robert De Niro?
but like those dudes are 7. Oh, by the time I'm trying to have kids, they have
He was over there.
Well, he had a kid like at 71, I think, or 70. He was 70 something.
Like 77 or something.
Yeah.
He was up there.
That's wild to me. But yeah, like you have time. You have time. You still, especially you take care of your health. You make sure you stay in shape. You'll be able to hang out with your kids, you know, when you're 50s and 60s and 70s for some. Okay, keep it moving.
I am not enjoying it. I am not having fun anymore. And it's really easy for you to say that while you and your wife and your baby play patty cake around the fire. I am not having fun. My last one is a classic. It's the family function question from the grandparents. So, Noah, do you have a girlfriend yet? No one pop up, listen to me. And I want to be kind because you're the sweetest people ever. But I can't keep answering that. You'll be the first 2 people to know if I ever have a girlfriend. But until then, I just can't. It's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, it's Easter, it's birthdays. I just can't take the slander anymore. I'm sorry, but I just can't.
I can't take the slander anymore. All right, what do you think about his last 2?
First of all, his grandparents just ask a simple question.
Right.
Like I said, it's your negative attitude that is probably putting you single. You know what I mean? Like, you can't keep, when someone asks you a question, you can't keep having the same negative attitude because you're going to get the same negative results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially if your grandparents are just asking the question like, oh, did you find somebody yet? It's like, no, I haven't found anybody yet, goddammit. Quit asking me that. It's like, dude, you gotta fucking chill. You gotta chill.
But also think about your grandparents though. Like they live in a generation where there's like wars and
yeah,
like civil rights. Like I mean, stuff where some people wasn't making it out. You know, so it makes sense why your grandparents be like, hey, we got together when we was 20. Yeah, because granddad got shipped off to Vietnam. Like, of course you guys got married. But like. For us, we're living longer. Our health is longer because it's modern medicine, stuff like that. So we don't need that pressure of like you have to get ahead and have a kid. You gotta be married by 21, 22. Like that time frame. Heck, I did a study back in the 1900s, like early 1900s. People was living, or maybe 1800s, but like 1900 people was living to like between 30 and like 60.
Oh yeah.
And then it started growing as like the 50s, mid 1900s came around. Like that age went from like 60s up to the 70s, and now it just keeps moving up. And you can go look at don't want to fact check me, but we're living longer, which means we don't have to rush into things. I remember going to college thinking like, dude, we're supposed to have our whole life figured out, have our significant other figured out, and have everything ready to go by the age of 18. Or we're going to go to college and then set the rest of our career, rest of our life. I'm living to 80 years old. I'm supposed to know within the first two decades of my life, not even 2 decades, first 15 years of my life, I'm supposed to know what I'm supposed to do. How much pressure is that on
Again,
somebody?
it's unrealistic expectations.
Yeah. So this dude, or like, hey, take your time, you're still young. and you'll enjoy being single. Yeah, because if you pick the wrong partner, you're gonna hate being in a relationship. But granted, you don't need to stay in that relationship either. But enjoy being single, that way you know what you like. Now, granted, people say, well, you learn more about yourself when you're in a relationship. Yeah, you do. You know what you tolerate, know what you don't tolerate, know how you vibe with somebody, what triggers, what not, which is good. But you want to find a partner where you meet that person, you're able to work with them and not be like, I can't do this, I'm out the door. Like you should be out the door in a relationship the moment something gets uncomfortable. But when you're single, it's easy to be in that comfortability and say, you know what? I don't want somebody bothering me right now. I don't need that. But then you also gonna have those nights where Kevin Hart used to call it Cupcake Tuesday.
Yeah.
Where like all your friends have their Cupcake Tuesday, have their significant others they're doing Cupcake Tuesday with, while you're sitting at home, with a bowl of icing and not like just like I don't know what I'm doing here. So I get that. There will be times of loneliness when you get lonely when you're single, but do not date somebody out of pure loneliness, which it sounds like he's not doing that, which is a good thing. But also you have to try to get into a relationship. You just can't sit inside all day and like, well, or go to a bar and like, well, I'm at the bar. Women approach me. Like, no, that's not going to happen. You're at the bar. You got to make sure you talk to somebody. I wouldn't. Also, what are you into? That's another thing. I think people need to consider the things they're into and go do things, like go to group events where they're doing some of their interests, because you'll meet somebody who might have the same interests as you. If not, you'll meet, let's say, if you're into women, you meet a guy, he might have a sister who could also be into the same thing that she just couldn't make it that day. Or he has a friend who couldn't make it that day. It's like you can expand your web of people by just going to these events, and therefore you're like, hey, I met my significant other one day because she came into the card game shop with us, and we were sitting there and we played a game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not sure I went that nerdy, but
yeah, you did.
it is nerdy dating, though. It is nerdy dating, but I'm just saying, like, there's somebody for everything, and you just got to put yourself in those environments, and you'll meet somebody. So you're like, well, I'm going to the bars all the time, I'm going to the clubs. It's a hodgepodge of people with different personalities. Some people are there because their friends went out. Some people are there because their friends didn't want to go out. Some people are there because they just didn't want to be there, but they're there now. Like, it's a mixture of everything. Any more thoughts before we go to the next one?
Nah, let's go ahead and move to the next one.
All right. We have Nilo. Let's see what she says. It's a minute and 49-second video, so here we go.
Late 20s, early 30s, and you're still single, and you are like, I swear I'm gonna be single forever. Oh my god, blah, blah, blah. I feel you. Same. I've gone through that rabbit hole like a million times. I'm like, oh my god, I'm fine. I'm just gonna be alone forever. Like, I'm just gonna be that aunt that travels. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Instead of being so consumed by boys and dating and crushes and trying so hard to find our person, we're just gonna surrender. We're gonna let go, okay? Because they say you're going to find your person when you least expect it, when you're not looking. Okay, fine. We're done looking. My eyes are closed. I'm not looking anymore, okay? But this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a list. We're going to write down like 5 to 7 things that we are like really looking for, what we really want in our person, okay? And I don't want you to get too crazy about the appearance stuff. Like, put the things that really actually matter. I mean, like, your non-negotiables, okay? Like, the things that actually matter. And you're gonna just take your piece of paper, fold it up, okay? And you're gonna place your order. You're gonna place your order with God, the universe, whatever the fuck you believe in. Send it off, okay? And then you're gonna go live your life. You're gonna work on your hobbies, your dreams, your passions. You're gonna heal a little, do whatever you gotta do, but you're gonna focus on yourself, okay? You're not gonna worry about meeting your person. Just, you already put your order in, okay? When it's ready, they're gonna Uber Eats it to you. You're good. It'll be hand delivered. However, in the meantime, you have to work on yourself. You have to focus on yourself. We're not gonna be consumed with the idea every single time you go out, like on the weekends. Oh my god, am I gonna meet a boy? Is he gonna text me? Oh my god, I hope there's cute boys. No, we're not gonna do that anymore, okay? When I have a crush, I get so distracted, okay? Like, it steers me off. And so I just need to take a step back. I'm gonna write my order, put my order in, and I'm just gonna be done, okay? So that's what we're doing this year.
You know what? Let
me go.
All right.
She is trolling as fuck, bro. She is too attractive to be giving advice to single people about being single. I'm waiting for her kids to run through the back. No. I'm still doing the video. Dude, this stuff right here actually pisses me off. Because either she's too attractive to be chronically single. She's dating somebody.
Yeah.
Or she's getting some from somebody. You know what I mean? Maybe she is like chronically single, going from relationship to relationship to relationship. You know what I mean? Either that or she's crazy. She is legit like crazy out there, like cuckoo.
Man, no slander. We don't need to slander.
I'm sorry. You're right. I don't want to talk bad about her. But I'm like, again, she's too attractive to be giving advice on chronically being single.
Well, no, I think maybe because if she is single, which I don't know if she's single or not, she didn't say she was. She was just giving advice to people who send her.
At the beginning of the video, she said, "I know what you mean," or "I know what you feel," or whatever. You know.
So, I think with her, it's not the fact that she's like, yes, she's attractive, but if she is attractive and she's still chronically, if she's considered chronically single for being like for her looks, it's because she actually has a certain standard, and she's like, hey, certain these guys are not hitting me. Like, she's already written down like her values and what she's looking for. She's like, ball it up and put it over to the side, and then worry about myself. And then, you know, one day it's just gonna manifest itself, which that's a mindset to have. Is like, I'm not gonna worry about it. That is a mindset to have. But you also, to me, and her advice is not bad. Like, as far as like, don't focus too much on it.
Yeah.
I give her credit on that one. Like, you don't want to focus too much on it, but you do need to focus just enough to put it work into dating. Because dating is especially nowadays, it's not easy. It is going to take work. If you have to be cognizant and be aware of like, okay, I am trying to go on a date with somebody. I am like set up a date this Friday, and we're going to go be intentional about dating. You need to be intentionally dating. So with her, if she is single, and from what you're looking at, like, well, she's too beautiful, she can't give advice like this. No, she can definitely give advice, because maybe her standard is not like, I don't want somebody who making, $50K. Maybe she's that kind of person. I don't know. I'm just making an assumption here. Or every guy who comes up to her is not being somebody with the intentions that they want to date. Maybe like, I want to hit, and then walk away. She's like, I don't want to keep meeting men who just want to hit. I want to meet somebody who actually wants to date. I want to be somebody who actually wants to see me as a partner. And for her, like, the advice she gave is actually not bad advice. I do give her some credit there. But that's a different take. I was surprised that you came up with that take.
Yeah.
But it's definitely
The advice is good.
Yes.
I will give it that, to where you want to write the stuff down that you want in a partner, and then become that partner, because then that vibration brings that energy into your life. 100%. Yeah.
You went off there for a moment.
Yeah, that was my bad. And then I didn't mean to shame her or bash her or anything like that. It's just, it's hard to make things believable when you're giving somebody advice when you can't take the same advice. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you're constantly going on dates and you're constantly doing all these different things, how can I give somebody advice on a different situation? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean by that? It's like, if we're working out, right?
Okay.
My body type is totally different from your body type. So for you to tell me that I need to consume these things and these things, that doesn't mean I'm going to get in shape.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yes. So I guess like it's lead by example, which maybe she does have her own dating podcast.
And again, I don't know her background. Yeah, you're right. I don't know her. I don't know her background.
They're like, wait, Ali, you're single. How can you give advice? Like, I'm not single now, but they're like, when I was single, I'm getting dating advice. How can you give dating advice? Because like, one, I've been in relationships. I've also been single. I also experienced like there's a point where I went single for, I was like 3 years. I didn't have a partner, but then I kept dating. I kept going on dates. I kept being intentional about it, and it was like, I haven't met anybody who really connect with me yet. It was just like, okay, well, they talk to this person, cool, but something was just off, or something was this, and so you can get that kind of advice, but I still focus on myself. I didn't just let myself fall to the side. Like, I kept trying to go and get, different career goals and aspirations, and keep editing and working on video, trying to get my YouTube channel and stuff like that to a different level. So I wasn't just sitting at home like, oh, when would a girl likes me? But like at the same time, I wasn't just like ignoring dating apps and not trying to meet anybody and then saying like, oh, nobody will approach me, or everybody I try to talk, nobody want to talk to me. Like, I never had a problem in Kansas City being a 5'7" bald guy, which is considered like, I'm not considered what people consider ideally the alpha male, or no, it's not alpha, what's the word? The high value man who's 6 foot something like that. Whatever it came to be.
See, that's my issue though.
Yeah.
Because if you're dating, you're getting dates. How is that being chronically single?
Oh yeah, no, I never said I was chronically single.
Well, that's what I'm saying with her example. She's telling me that, I'm giving advice on being chronically single. I was like, dude, man, there's no way in hell you are chronically single.
Yeah.
Now you can say that I'm not banging a bunch of guys, I'm not finding the right person, all this other stuff, but girl, you are going on dates.
Yeah, like she probably was at one point. She probably was like, you know what? I'm not looking at anybody. I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm just gonna sit inside. And when she was like, I've been there because I just went home. It's like, oh, nobody's gonna approach me, but I'm gonna sit here and do this, and then sit there and upset. Like she said, I obsessed about my crushes. Like I just wanted the dude to reach out to me. I wanted the dude to talk to me, but she never put herself in the situation, or maybe she did. She was just like, what was it? I don't know why I think it's Hunter x Hunter, but there's a character who had a crush on a character, and instead of like talking to him like that, she will always. I think most animes are like this with a female character who's super shy. She would just be in the background.
Oh, talking about Hinata?
Yeah. Oh, Hinata's perfect. Hinata, like, she would be in the background, Naruto! Naruto would like sit and talk to Sakura, why don't you like acknowledge me? And then Hinata's like right there behind him. Naruto!
Yeah.
Like, why won't he notice me? Like, you're not even, he doesn't see you because you're behind him. So whispering behind a tree in a pole, and he having to look over your. No wonder why you're chronically single, Hinata. Now, that whole thing works out, but that's also anime. That's a different story.
Yeah.
All right, last one here, and then we're going to get into some Reddits and TikToks. Or I guess not Reddit, but Reddits and Instagram threads. But this is from Quilly, I don't know how to pronounce her name. Quill Little Odom I know. I'm sorry. I just slaughtered your name. I apologize. If you ever watch this video, I'm sorry. All right, here we go.
By this point, we all know that I am chronically single. There are no prospects. And it's gotten to the point where not only my mom, my aunts, my grandparents, and people at church are all telling me I should download a dating app. I don't want to do that. So I've come up with a plan. Once a week, I'm going to go do something by myself in a little bit of a different area. So today we're going to do grocery shopping. Easy peasy. Instead of going to the grocery store that's 5 minutes from my house, we're going to go to the one that's 15 minutes from my house. And maybe possibly try to meet my future husband out in the world. I'm going to go in and I'll come back after and fill you in on what happened and tell you if I met anyone.
Okay.
See you in a little bit. Okay, so there was one person in there that could have been maybe possibly a potential person, but I didn't know how to approach them, and I also got really awkward
There it is.
because I was filming myself while grocery shopping. So then I quickly went away. Maybe this is why I'm single. So, that was first try. I struck out, but, if you fail, try again. So come back next week to see if I have any luck next time.
Okay.
I'm gonna let you go first on this.
Quilladolf. Okay, I'm not mad at you for doing the grocery store thing. Like, I actually think that's one of the best ways to meet somebody. Because one, you see somebody in their natural look, most likely. They're not dressed up and dolled up going to the grocery store, men or women. Like, men's not put on their best fit to go to the grocery store. They're probably wearing sweats or t-shirts, something like that, shorts. Women are probably wearing, slouch or slacks and yoga pants, and like they look like literally like it's the most average you can find somebody in all forms of whatever they're doing in all forms of life. You can watch them go to the grocery store. I'm not mad at it. And I'm not mad at the fact that you tried to go to the grocery store. But here's the thing. You didn't know how to approach. You got to the grocery store. You saw somebody. You didn't know how to approach. Which a simple hi and a hello, or where you're looking at, like, what do you, like, oh, Cheerios should get, Golden Grams. Like, there's anything you can mention, like, in the grocery store you can pick up to have a conversation with. Where you went wrong is recording yourself in the grocery store. If somebody was trying to come and talk to me and they had a camera out and they was recording themselves, I'll probably be like, what are you doing? Are you making a TikTok? That's because I'm aware I'm on social media. I'm in the platform and stuff like that. But I've been like, are you serious right now? Like, I am not going to either stay around, or I'm going to stay around out of curiosity to see what video I'm going to get blown up on Instagram or TikTok. But I do give you props for doing something about it. I think that's the right thing to do, is do something. Do something once a week, like you're saying, where you put yourself out there. You just have to, like, you're open to the approach and then go for the approach. So I do give her props for doing that. What's your thoughts?
The grocery store?
Yeah.
We picking up people at the grocery store?
Your grandparents used to meet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When men go to the grocery store, we get one or two things and then we leave.
But you're stuck in let's say you're stuck in the line, the checkout line. That's one of the best places.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many times, before think about this, before cell phones, where they were getting to the cell phones, how did you meet people? You're waiting in line, like, God, why this line taking so long? And somebody else was like, yeah, man, this line's long. You met a woman who's sitting there having the same conversation. Next thing you know, you had a good back and forth, like, what are you getting? Or you have a conversation, or, I'm just, waiting to make this food for a party I have tonight. And then that's how people got conversation. Also think about this. People in the 60s and 70s drive around cars, stop at a stoplight, look over, hey, where you guys going to? Are we going to this party down there? Okay, let's go.
Well, and that's good for that time, but
yeah.
It's 2023, 24.
But that's how you meet people in the wild, though. That's how you meet people in the wild. In real life, it's going to be places where you go to, like the grocery store and stuff like that.
I got this. Ladies, if you want the kind of man that you quote unquote say you want, you need to put yourself in a fit, feminine, beautiful, submissive position to get that person. You know what I mean? That's cold-heartedly what I believe in. Like, if you want to date somebody, if you want to get that quote-unquote prospect to take care of you, then you need to put yourself in the position to get that person.
Well, we're talking about just to meet, though. Like, just to meet somebody? Like,
well, even if it's meeting that person, it's like...
Think about before dating apps. How do people meet? Before dating apps. You met at work? You met at church or your religious group. You met out and about in, like, let's say the grocery store or random places. Like, you just didn't, and then nobody knew about the position of somebody's feminine or masculine.
Here's the thing, though. We
now, is she making
hold on. Go ahead.
Now, by her making the approach, does that make the approach where, as far as like the guy, like, not being submissive enough? But nobody really looking at that, because if the approach is just a hello or a hi or just like, hey, how's it going? The guy can flip around and make the first move on a date. Like, she just saying hi doesn't mean they're going on a date. It just means that she's working on getting herself out there.
But that's the thing. We live in a day and age where men are just not approaching women.
Yeah, because
we're just not. Especially at a grocery store. That's what's getting me. It's like,
I've done it before.
Well, sure, but we're talking about the majority here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's how you get like that practice of it. Like, you have to practice. The only way you get good at approaching people, you have to practice. Like, that guy, the guy who was going to do approaching himself, if she made eye contact with him and he looked at her, and they walked around a few times, they came back to each other again, because I'm going to guess it wasn't the first guy that she saw that she would approach.
That sounds like a fantasy, man. Huh? That sounds like a...
It happens. I watch
shit that happens in a movie. It's like, oh, we're reaching for the. Let's say
no, it can't even be that. Like, it could be like you just say you saw somebody walking down the the bread aisle. You saw them, like, okay, you made eye contact. Then y'all went over. You was going down, like, okay, she was cute. My own business. Went to the eggs, and then all of a sudden she's in the same area because she's getting the same thing off her list. Okay, and then, like, you about to go check out. Cause I think the three time rule is the one you should approach. You see somebody 3 times, the familiarity. Okay, that person already know who you are. They know that you're not trying to approach or not trying to be threatening or anything. You're just simply as a guy. Because most people men are afraid of approach nowadays. They're afraid of being threatening or coming off abrasive, or the case would be. So the first thing, you make eye contact, you acknowledge them. Second time, you make eye contact again. You're still like, okay, well, that's a smile now. All right, I think she could be interesting, or I'll smile and wave. Yeah. Third time, you come across one more time, you make a move, because you might not have the opportunity again, which that could be in the checkout line or wherever the case may be. Like, hey, I saw you there, and I used to do this when I was single. These talking like, hey, I think you're really beautiful. Just want to let you know, hope you have a great day. And leave it at that. That's when I just walk off, because I just want to get that off my chest, because I might not have the opportunity to say it again. If I want a number, I'll be like, hey, I think you're really good looking. So like a nice person. Can I take you on a date? Go from there. And that takes confidence and practice and stuff like that, which I was practicing that when I was younger. Like, I started, high school just approaching women, because there wasn't dating apps at that time. It was just like, all right, that's how you get to meet somebody. But her, I do give her props for doing that. And there's actually, I did a study, my last episode was, when the woman makes the first move, the relationship lasts longer than the guy making the first move. And according to some studies, and then also add the same post on my Instagram, it was like 60% women say yes, they made the first move and they last longer, and 40% men say they made the first move and last longer. And then a bunch of other studies show that women making the first move does last longer, maybe because she knew what she wanted and there wasn't that wishy-washy kind of like, I don't think I like her, I don't think I'm into it. She's like, I know what I want. And the guy was like, yeah, she wants me, I like her, I think she's a cool person. Why not date her, you know? Mm-hmm. So I think it is something where women making the first move where relationships last longer, but should guys still make the approach? Yes. And the first move can be a simple hi. The guy still have to do their date, like invite on the date, still got to do all the other stuff. So it's not like he's giving up his masculinity by letting her approach him, and she's not giving up her femininity by saying just hi to start the conversation. But he still needs to make like the intention, hey, I'm taking you on a date. I'm paying for the date. Like there's things where that dynamic can definitely go back to masculine and feminine, which I don't know if she's a boss babe or not, but I feel like she wouldn't have that problem doing that. But that's just nice to look kind of thing. She can be a boss babe and like high alpha female, I wouldn't know, but just off that. But the grocery store is not a bad place because it's where you're gonna find somebody in their most natural look. I believe that's so you see somebody natural beauty, because I'm not trying to walk into a girl and then we get home and then she take off the wig, the eyelashes. I'm like, you are completely different from what I thought you were. If I saw her at the grocery store and I saw her like that, I'm like, okay, I'm not approaching
real you.
Yeah, I'm not approaching this person. But also understand like approachability. If the person has the headphones on, if they're like looking down the whole time.
That's what I said. They gotta put themselves in a position to be approachable. Yeah. Like if you at the grocery store, I'm grabbing 1, 2, 3 things and now I'm getting the hell out of here.
Right, like if you're in the grocery, like, to catch you, probably be in the checkout line while you're waiting, you're like, all right, sitting here 5 minutes is the only line open, and then everybody else is like, that's how I would catch you. But like, all right, because you like somebody who's going in and get out. Where's the one spot you can't get out of? You gotta pay for your food unless you're robbing, and then you're going to jail.
I can guarantee if she did the same thing at a different location in a different setting where she's more approachable by men, she would get a lot more dates, or talk to a lot more people, and whatever. You know,
that's true.
And like I said, she just, she has to put herself in a position to be approachable. Like I said, women put themselves in a position to be approachable. Mm-hmm. Men are the ones that do the approaching, and then in our mindsets, and I'm not saying, again, I'm thinking of the majority here, but majority of men is not going to the grocery store thinking I'm going to find the love of my life. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But again, like men and women are just think differently. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're going in there, getting our shit, and then we're getting the hell out of there.
It's definitely an old school mentality that like that's how my grandma and granddad met that way. It's an old school mentality. And I definitely I'm not mad at it. I think I give her props for just doing that.
Yeah, I think she did it for views.
Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating, you want to put it in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.